Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So this is a sort of a very specific bit of news which I care about because it's Blankos. But I think this sort of goes to show something about sort of some of the challenges around blockchain, but equally some of the ways in which sort of blockchain games companies are really taking very seriously how they're building community and sort of staying true to what they say they're doing. So this week there was a Blankos drop and it was Professor Meowingtons. So if you, like me, didn't know very much about deadmau5, the DJ musician, he has a character called Professor Meowingtons, actually his cat, and there was a drop of basically a cat-style Blanko. We'll have a look at it in a minute, called Professor Meowingtons. And it was a pretty kind of big drop. Obviously, deadmau5 is massive as a DJ. He's also been really into crypto. He's done some stuff on Wax, other projects as well. I think he's got his own sort of blockchain music project that he does. He's actually in the Sandbox as well. He's done stuff there. So deadmau5, and particularly his dead mouse head thing, pretty cool. And actually, there was a drop of his sort of his mouse head as well. But what we're talking about here is Professor Meowingtons was that there was going to be 1,000 limited edition 1,000 minted in Blankos. And generally with Blankos, with a lot of their drops now, they have a sort of limited number. So obviously that sort of drives people, FOMO, people trying to get in before it sells out. And also it drives now people kind of flipping them on the market as the market becomes more available. But what's interesting here is obviously what you do is you're sort of they're not it seems like at least they're not pre-minting these. Obviously they're connecting the minting system, the creation of the NFT, to the payment system. So with Blankos, there's various different ways of paying. There's a web store, so you can just go through a web browser and buy that, and that's with a credit card, or you can use crypto, or you can buy it within if you're playing the Blankos game, there's a store interface within that as well, and if you're in there, you can buy using the Blankos bucks, their in-game currency. So there's different ways of sort of buying. The big issue with Professor Meowingtons was literally I was there 2 nights ago, and at 11 o'clock UK time, 3 o'clock Pacific, basically the site went live and you could buy Professor Meowingtons, and of course thousands of people piled in, and probably I think a few of them like me basically had the NFT in our kind of payment kind of flow. So by everything was entered, it was going through, just waiting to have that confirmed, and it just was waiting, and nothing happened. And I guess we've all had that in blockchain. Had that NBA Top Shops, had a lot of that. I've had that with various other drops as well, and just the interface from the kind of the payment system into the back end of the blockchain system just can't deal with the volume and just sort of hangs. But so what's interesting here is you can kind of see how these blockchain systems, and the interface with the sort of the kind of legacy world or the payment systems can be difficult. So they're saying here, this is from Mythical Games Reddit. They're saying so they hit the 1,000 cap. So obviously at that point they should not mint anymore, but actually they ended up minting 1,003, which we actually noticed at the time. So they had to investigate what happened, and they found that when they initially tokenized the Blankos, initially they created I think one and gave the item to deadmau5. They didn't put the cap on. They didn't at that point put the cap on. Maybe they weren't sure how many they were going to cap, so maybe they thought they were going to do 2,000 or maybe 500. They weren't really sure. Anyway, so they then added the limit into their system, but they realised their supply system, the NFT minting end, and the payment system weren't aligned properly. So although the minting system was saying basically we're done, the payment system was saying, well, we've got three extra people, and that got tokenized on the reserve system. So you see 103. So at that point, there were 103 of these Blankos minted. So the people who have bought 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, they're not going to have those taken away. Clearly, you can't do that. And so what they're going to do is some mythical employees bought these Blankos, and they're going to basically burn those, so destroy those NFTs. So there will be 1,000 deadmau5. There will be 1,000 Professor Meowington NFTs, but the mint number will be 1,003. And sort of what's interesting about this is it actually means now these ones super valuable. These are just like, as they say, these are just sort of like misprints. So sometimes if you're collecting stamps, you get these sort of, I don't know, they put the wrong price on it, or they put the Queen's head the wrong way around or something. And those ones are particularly valuable. I guess you get it in all sort of physical collectible kind of products, that you can get these sort of failures, and that makes them more valuable. So it will be interesting to see. But it's kind of cool that they've sort of explained what's going on here, and obviously really cool that the mythical people have basically destroyed their Blankos. It would actually be interesting at this point to know how many mythical employees were buying Blankos. That's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of insider trading. But I don't know. We had a similar thing, I guess, with NBA Top Shop, where the CEO of Dapper Labs, is one of the top 10 owners of NBA Top Shop moments. He's got, I can't remember what it is now, but he has millions of dollars worth. Obviously, he's bought that with his own money, but it's sort of it's interesting, I suppose. I guess over time we'll kind of have some sort of ethics committees around whether people can buy their own NFTs. Obviously they're passionate about NFTs, so why shouldn't they? But anyway, by the by. So let's have a quick look at what this looks like in the storefront. So this is the marketplace. Again, it's a web interface. It's currently alpha, invite only, so I don't think as many people have access to it, although there's more rolling out all the time. So this is the Professor Meowingtons. This is what he looks like. So here's the cat with he's kind of got his red suit on. And we can see here, so he's early access is the season, and there were 1,003 issued. So that's kind of what we know. We've just discussed that. And we can see here, so these are the ones that are available. Actually, no, let's do that. So we can see here, there are 1,003 were issued, but there are only 1,000 individual items because 3 of them have been destroyed. And we can see here, somewhat crazily, the person who bought number 1, I've been playing it, but I guess that's Deadmau5. Because you can see here, these ones are boxed, and the general idea is if you have your NFT boxed, i.e. you've never played it, then it's going to be worth more. But it looks like here the number 1 has been played probably by Deadmau5, and he's leveled it up. Tracer is you can choose, there's 3 classes you can choose for any Blankos NFT, and he's maxed it out. So this is I can't remember if it's excellent, I think it stands for, and it's level 5, which is the maximum. So that's what's going on there. And we can see here there are 46 of these 1,000 are available for sale. So the highest serial number is number 4 for $10,000. And we can sort of go down. Obviously, there's different sort of serial numbers. I was looking to see if any of those one over 100, over 1,000 were listed, but they're not yet. But they'll be interested because I think they would be the most valuable prints of this one. So we have the highest one we have is 999. But some of these are fairly cheap. So I think this sold for $160 if you could get in to buy it at launch, and so there's a sort of a reasonable markup, $100 markup on that, if you want to buy it through the marketplace. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where we keep an eye on what's going on, and it is fascinating because people are learning these things. Developers are learning how to deal with demand and trying to deal with sort of mistakes. And obviously, the point of a blockchain is you can't just kind of hide this sort of stuff. People notice straight away, and you have to sort of make your best case for the actions you're taking when you've made a mistake. And I think in this case, Mythical Games has probably done the right thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel, and see you again soon.